Good afternoon, all. This is Mukesh from Tech Counselor team. Welcome to the all users and all audience for the international training and internship program on opportunities for R&D ecosystem and tech-driven startup. The event will be hosted. The event started on 20th of June and will be hosted till 15th of July. This is a whole 1 month one-to-one interactive and pack schedule kind of event where we will be having around 15 plus experts who will be taking almost 10 plus modules for the 40 plus hours. And we will have people from very prominent background, including CEOs, directors, founders of their firms, and as well as scientists, senior scientists from reputed international and national organizations. The event is organized by Kulas Dehradun in collaboration with Tech Counselor, which is co-organized by Krishna Institute of Medical Science, deemed to be University Maharashtra. And then we are also very much thankful to our technical sponsor, Uttarakhand Technical University and TEQIP 3. And then we are also very much thankful to our knowledge partner and technical partner, which include Yuvana Tech and Craft Private Limited, Ramanujan Academy of Science and Technology, Swachhnir, Baudik Ventures, Kaviraj Foundation, and TRIADS. We all the industry partner and technical partner will be providing support to our all the audience as a mentor, as well as with support like Baudik Venture will be providing support for the IP, and top five or like five applicant can apply for the like trademark registration at zero professional fees. Then Yuvana Tech and Craft will also be supporting for digital marketing and that kind of mentorship, as well as for the website development for their startups or for their new ideas. Then we also have Kaviraj Foundation for the CSR activities, where student and startups can work out for their like CSR activities and that kind of thing. This whole program is run under our initiative, a Virtual Network of Indians, AVNI. This is an initiative by Tech Counselor, as well as the DISA, which is Digital Incubation Support for All. Uh, I just request Priyanka to put the next slide. Right now with me, I have my team, Priyanka, and then Praveen from Yovana Tech and Craft, as well as Saurav Trivedi already have joined us. Uh, so for the whole month, this event was came as an idea for like in line of vision to Government of India, which says like our aim should be to make India a global R&D hub. For that, we thought like to have multiple people from multiple background who might give good insight to the audience and to the startup entrepreneurs, to the new budding entrepreneurs. We will have Dr. Fabio Massi from Italy, who is the Senior Technical Director. We yesterday had Madan Kanala, founder and CEO of Snoam, Ottawa at Canada, who briefly explained about the IoT and like that kind of presentation. Dr. Amit from Dubai will join us during the course of time. Dr. Raman Sharma, Senior Scientist at CSIR NIRI, Delhi, will also be with us. On the second day, we had Dr. Rajkumar Helder, who is the CEO and founder for Rivenal Biomedical OPC Private Limited, New Delhi. Very senior professor, Dr. Manoj Panda will also join us, who is the professor at Global Govind Ballabh Pant Institute of Engineering and Technology, Pauri Goodwall, as well as he is also the State Project Administrator for State Project Implementation Unit, SPIU Uttarakhand. Naveen Kumar from France will also join us during the course of time. Sri Prasad from Hyderabad, and then Abhishek Gupta from Hungary, Europe. Dr. Sunil Samwal, HOD and Professor at Electrical Engineering Department, Tulaz Institute, will also be with us in the course of time. Ajit Kumar Yadav, researcher at NASA ISRO SAR, which is a NISA project, will also be with us. He is the founder for Ramanujan Academy of Science and Technology. Udavi Mittal, the R&D embedded engineer for RT Technologies Private Limited, will also take a session on how hardware and IoT can be implemented for your coming ideas and projects. Ms. Sakshi Gupta will also be with us. She is the assistant professor at Graphigara University. And Dr. Jayant Pawar from Krishna Institute of Medical Science, deemed to be University of Maharashtra, will also take a session on agri tech and its applications for startups. On the very first day, we had Mr. Vinay Chaudhary, who is the assistant professor at University of Petroleum and Energy Studies, who took the lecture on IoT and then on embedded. The concluding session will be done by Ms. Renu Thapliyal. She is the co-founder and director for Tech Counselor, as well as the founding member for Kaviraj Foundation. So she will also be with us for the session. Priyanka, next slide, please. So I'm very much thankful for my all the expert, for my all the team for organizing such a wonderful session. My special thanks to Dr. Sunil Samwal for the he's the organizing secretary for the program and for organizing such a beautiful session, which definitely will have benefit to the new coming entrepreneurs as well as to the faculties on thinking how actually startup and R&D work culture can be boosted, and then certainly how these more opportunities can be considered for ecosystem and tech driven startup. So my thanks to Divakapan sir, then Ravi Kumar Patel, Parag Verma, Praveen Kumar, Renu, then Ritesh from he's one of the our team member who is right now in China, also supporting us with that kind of thing. Then to there are many people who have been supporting us with this thing. For today, we have Mr. Saurabh Trivedi, one of my very good friend and known person, who is the founder and director for Bodhik Ventures Private Limited. He will be taking for the IPR assets for the startup and relevance of IPR in a startup ecosystem, as well as Bodhik Ventures will also supporting five of the startup for their trademark registration, for where they'll not be charging any professional fees. And also for the IPR health check, 10 of the startups can ask us and they can have a free consultancy from them. So he's the assistant. He has been assisting many businesses, and like he's you can say like more toward how businesses can formed and how IP actually can help you to grow. And certainly in the coming days when we talk about the R&D or for the research and innovation, the most important things going to lie with the IP. And right now we are having very good EODB ranking, but again with the IP we are in the number 7 for the patent. We certainly need to look out and for further new policies going to impact and certainly will help us out in that domain. I request Saurav sir, welcome. And now I will say that our
Thank,
audience will be very much helpful with your experience. Welcome, sir. Welcome.
thank you, Mukesh, and whole Tula Institute, Dehradun team, and the tech counselor, and all the supporting partners, ecosystem partners, Kavira's Foundation, Swachh, for organizing this kind of webinar session, which really important for the budding entrepreneur, startup, or R&D, which is enabling these R&D department as well. So this is a wonderful initiative which they have taken, and I'm honored to be here as a part of this webinar series or this internship training series which they have organized. So I just giving you some background what exactly we have done and why we are going to start this support this startup. In 2016, when this Startup India program or PMO announced this Make in India program, so we thought yes, because I'm having a decade years of experience in this IPR field with the international law firms, international companies located at Europe, Japan, Korea, US, and we have doing that what you can say probably this intellectual property work with them. Okay, so there the concept is known as a innovation as a patent. Okay, in the international market. So when this scenario comes in 2016, when PMO announced this Startup India or Make in India program for the Indian entrepreneurs, budding entrepreneurs, so we thought that this is the same concept which is known in international market as a patent, but in India we are starting this as a startup. Okay, and somebody can pick this as an innovation, or what you can say probably they have done a very good research on their technical concepts. So they just wanted to see why not we are going to support this Indian startup. So we started this Bodhik venture there onwards. I'm having with my one of my very good partner Vivek Daya with me as a patent agent, patent attorney. He's having a work of traditional law firm function, and I'm basically handling this trademark as a trademark attorney. I'm lawyer and being a investor, mentor on lots of startup, lots of Atal incubation centers. I think almost 10 or more than 10 Atal incubation centers where I'm going to support all these startups or working for the betterment of the startups. Okay, so there we pick this concept and giving our best in the betterment for the startup. Okay, and we have done a couple of investment in startups like eBike Go, Mera Cashier, Globe Edification. So there are a couple of where we have done this syndicate funding. As a mentor, I already told you Atal Innovation Centers. As a good initiative, I'm been on different advisory board as well. Like one is the initiative is Agricul, where we are looking or searching for the agri-tech startups. okay, who just boost this agriculture economy. So we are looking for those kind of agri entrepreneur who just bring some kind of new energy, new tech, new tools to do this agriculture work. Okay. So from there onwards, I just wanted to start my session on IPR as an asset for this startup or relevance of this and this startup ecosystem. So I'm starting it from my first slide where I'm going to talk about the infringement. So Priyanka, you just move on the slide. Uh, yes, this is the topic where we are going to discuss about this IPR assets for this startup. Can you move Priyanka a little bit more? One more. Yeah, click. So what exactly I'm going to talk about this? Why I'm going to start this with as a infringement matters in India and outside? Because I just wanted to collect the things as per the memory, okay, so that we can reevaluate, rethinking on the same that yes, these are the cases where IP is the most important factor. Okay, so you can pick up the things from there onwards. Okay, there is a company named Vior International Limited and Maxicon Healthcare Private Limited. This is a very brilliant case study where Vior International is a Switzerland-based company. Okay, and they sued a Maxicon Healthcare Private Limited, which is located in India. These are two companies. Okay, Vior Limited in Switzerland and Maxicon is a Indian based. Okay, so what exactly Vior Limited has been done? Like they have developed some kind of what you could say formulation composition. So the same thing, Maxicon is selling in the India or on their website. They are promoting that they are the licensee of that kind of formulation. Okay, so that Switzerland-based company files a suit in Delhi High Court, and Delhi High Court award the damages of 10 lakhs for the patent infringement because Switzerland-based company Bayer has having a patent application, granted patent application with them. Okay, so here I'm going to start the next example: Fiat Chrysler Automobile and Mahindra. Okay, even we know that these are the big automobile leaders. Okay, so when we am talking about the Fiat Chrysler, they have done or filed a suit on Mahindra and Mahindra in US. They asked that Mahindra and Mahindra is copying the design of their automobile Jeep, which is Roxor, a model. Okay, so they have done this kind of IP infringement, but in US, Indian company in US. Okay, then I think everyone heard about this Ericsson versus Micromax case. Micromax started in India. They have producing the mobile phone, all kind of mobile devices, and then after growing well or what you can say probably set up in this market in Indian market and growing till 5 years. Okay, but they didn't realize that they are going to infringe the product, infringe the patent of Ericsson. Okay, but once they grow enough, then Ericsson came into picture and claimed the damages. Okay, claim the damages means Ericsson are having what you can say probably having the patent application on their chipsets. Okay, so then they are going to ask the Micromax that you are doing this infringement. Then after a 5 years of long battle, then Micromax is ready to pay the royalties on each mobile phones. Even I'm thinking that nowadays nobody is seeing this Micromax mobile phone. If there is any, they are very costly because they are going to pay a royalties of infringing the patents of Ericsson chipsets. Then the next example, which is good for the automobile industry, a Pune firm which is Flash Electronics, so is Royal Enfield for patent infringement. They have devised a component. Okay, they have devised a component. They thought that Royal Enfield are using the same component in their bikes. Then they sued that Royal Enfield. So I just wanted to say that these are the infringement matters where somebody is having the intellectual property and another is infringing the same. Okay, so these are couple of cases, and apart from that, there would be a lot of cases of the IPR infringement, but we didn't realize. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Priyanka. Can you move on the one slide more? So when we are talking about this importance of IP, where does it comes to IP in your mind? Okay, maybe some kind of whenever we are talking about the students, okay, or any people, even the university faculties or startups or budding entrepreneur, school student, college student, they thinking of the one great idea in their mind, and they think that this should be disrupt in the market. Okay,
Saurav ji,
or I'm having a very good research done on those tools, become a disruptive in. So it comes whenever we are exchanging, whenever we are seeing some problems around our. Hello, yes.
Saurav ji, your voice is breaking. I think you might have to stop the cam so that we can have good bandwidth.
Yes.
Can we do it?
Hello. Is it? Hello.
Yeah, your voice is breaking a little bit. I think due to network or something.
Okay. Sure. So is it better now? So sorry for the technical glitch.
No, no, no. It's
In
okay.
my
Even we
office,
are
it's
having
all
this.
kind of
Even
sort of
we
work
are having this
nowadays
network
are going
issue.
online.
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
are facing some troubling with this
Right,
network
right.
issue.
Yeah, good to go, please. Sorry for this.
Okay, perfect. So now I'm saying whenever you are going to with your friends, okay, and then you came up with a solution, a great idea, okay, then it might become an IP, but we didn't realize. We just thought of, oh, maybe it's an idea, and what my colleagues are saying, what my friends are saying, maybe it's not important for the market or for the person who is going to take this as a idea or the solution. Okay. So whenever we are going to discuss about this IP, this is some kind of thoughts where we are going to identify it as a brilliant idea, or these are some problems which is near around, and we identified some solutions. Okay. When I'm talking about the problems, you have seen there are lots of industries around the college, campus, university areas. There would be lots of industries. Okay. And they are suffering or they are having little bit problems. Okay, the problem might be in the technical side. The problem might be in the operation side. They are facing couple of things in the what you could say, probably in the production thing. So why didn't the student pick up those problems and make the solutions? Okay, and then ask with those kind of industries again that we are having the solution for this problem. So, but yes, before going to them, they have secured their IP. So that industry is or the companies are giving them value or some kind of revenue for their ideas or the solution. So now I'm going coming back to discuss about some common types of IP. Okay, maybe you in your screen you have seen that, and everybody is known about or heard some words about the patents, trademarks, copyright, design, geographical indication. Okay, but we are not aware what exactly this belongs to. Or sometimes I hear from lots of startup that I make some algorithm, some content develop, some copyright thing. So can it be patented? So I'm going to discuss these things in this slide itself. Okay, whenever we are talking about the patent, okay, you are having some technical tools, technical processes, technical concepts. Okay, wherever you think that this can be a novel solution or this can be a good idea or the research part, okay, then immediately we can go ahead and file the patent. Patent belongs to the technical concepts. Okay, the novel ideas belongs to you. The process, the concepts, the formulations, even the when you're talking about the vaccines, everybody know that we are searching for the corona vaccine or something like that. So I just wanted to say, if there would be a vaccine, that should be the patent. But yes, as for the general or the mankind purpose, we are not going to file as a patent, or we are giving some license as a free of cost. Okay. Then another good thing is a trademark. Okay, trademark is a brand identity. Whenever we are being in the room and everybody knows about the Tech Counselor, Tulas Institute, Bodhic Venture, Kaviraj Foundation, that they are having some identification with their brand. Okay, so that brand known as a trademark. Where these trademarks comes into picture, when you are going out of the room, maybe you are sitting with five different brands, everybody knows your brand, but yeah, once you go out from the room, you left out with your identity, so that they can know that this brand is their identity. Okay, so brand is saying that only the word name, logo, a very unique tagline which you are going to make, that is filed as a trademark application. Okay, another thing which is copyright. Whenever you make, there were lots of students who's interested in writing the blogs. Okay, so they are interested to protect their content part, but they are not aware that which kind of IP they are going to protect. Okay, so whenever we are talking about the website content, very wonderful article content part, then we can go ahead and file the copyright application. The software development part. So yes, there is a protection available under the copyright application. Another important type of IP is a design application. We sometimes combine this design as a design patent, but design patent is term used in US, not in India. In India, these are different type of IP. Design is a aesthetic looks of the product. Maybe you have a very unique design of a mobile phone. Maybe you have a very unique design of a bottle, maybe a laptop design or something, a very unique design where a looks of your goods product is really important to protect. Then you go ahead and file your design application. Another very important thing is a geographical indication. Lots of people heard about this Pashmina. Immediately everybody known about that this belongs to Kashmir. Whenever we talk about the oranges, it immediately comes into mind this belongs to Nagpur. Whenever we talk, even I think I have just seen these mangoes fight. Okay, so they are going to protect under the have everybody heard about the varieties of mango, Langra, Chausa, Dasheri, or something, some types of mangoes. So even UP, Uttar Pradesh, is going to protect their geographical indication on these mango names. So this is in the what you can say, probably very soon we will recognize this geographical indication. So there are lots of states in India. Okay, they are protecting their geographical indication. Where what exactly this geographical indication and who is going to benefit it? The things, the production, the goods which belongs to that jurisdiction is going to benefit it because they are having the unique identity. If somebody is going to purchase oranges and they think that this belongs to Nagpur, then this entice what you can say, probably the other state people as well, or apart from India, other countries are also looking for that this oranges are belongs to Nagpur. So this gives them some kind of what you can say, revenue generation model for the states. Okay, so I have discussed this common types of IP where patent, whenever this technology, product, process, concepts comes into picture. Trademark, whenever there is a brand identity, you just wanted to protect your brand. Copyright, whenever you just wanted to protect your website, content, source code, then you just go ahead and file your copyright application. Design, where the looks of the product is really important. Geographical indication, where the products identify some kind of what you call jurisdiction associated with them. So these are some common types of IP. Apart from that, this common types of IP, there were lots of things which we have to carefully evaluating before going to any investor or big giants or anywhere. Okay, so I'm just going to take that thing as well. We are not seeing about the you have all I have seen that website there would be a privacy policies, but we are not going to read all the privacy policies. We have to just check the radio button which is available on the bottom of the website, and we agree all the terms and conditions. But we have not seen that there are sometimes mentioned the commercial part as well. If you're going to use this platform, this tool for some kind of commercialization, commercial values, then you have to pay back. But we have not read because that is a very lengthy, what you call the verbose content of sometimes 30 or 40 odd pages. So we are avoiding those kind of things. But yes, this is really important. This is not a part of IP, but yes, these are some things which you can what you could say probably take into consideration when you are going to discuss your startup, your process to big giants, to investor, to anybody. Okay, so now I'm going to discuss about what you can say the benefits, advantages of this IP. Till now, we have discussed what exactly the IP is and how we are going to file, what kind of IP is required for your product or service. Okay, so now I'm going to discuss about this benefits. What are the advantages which we could get? One is the first important thing when you have some IP with you, the patent, trademark, copyright, design. This gives you the power. Power means power to eliminate the competitor. Okay, if somebody you are having a very good technical tool. Okay, suppose बहुत बहुत अच्छा सा tool आपके पास available है, but you just wanted to what you can say probably कि कोई भी उसे copy ना कर ले और competitor अपना business establish ना कर ले, so you just wanted to protect your IP, which brings or which gives you a power to eliminate. आपने उसे eliminate कर दिया, वो आएगा ही नहीं competition में. In case if they comes into what you say probably in the competition area, then we have other advantages as well. Okay, which is known as enforcement. Okay, so when I'm talking about the power, you have the elimination of the competitor, credibility. You have a very good startup. Even if I'm talking about the faculty's perspective, they have done the very good research paper. They have done the thesis part for their PhD. So उसमें भी उस research में भी there would be a credibility. They get some kind of name recognition that this is my work which I have done. So this gives them a credibility to apply to work with lots of other universities. So this is the concept where IP gives them these kind of credibility. But yes, they sometimes what you can say publish that research articles, thesis free of cost in the journal for the use of the public. Okay, but they didn't realize that there might be some kind of innovation, some kind of IP in that. So I just request all the faculty members whenever they are going to put their papers in the any research journals or somewhere else, and after a certain period of time, when somebody is using that free and make some kind of product using your research or thesis, and you are seeing that product after 2 or 4 years down the line, then you are claiming that this is my IP. No, it's not your IP because you have given them free of use for the people. Okay, so somebody can get benefited from your IP. So it gives you some kind of credibility, some kind of recognition. So it's your choice to file IP, intellectual property. Then you can start one other thing, business on your IP, on your intellectual property. You can start the business as well. Means like you have a very good concept, the process, the business, the technical tool, the invention. Okay, on which you think that you are not going to business around it. But yes, if you just wanted to sell this IP, you can do that. You can share that IP with somebody else, and you can benefit it as a license, which is another benefit for this intellectual property. Either you can build your whole business around your IP, intellectual property, because we are talking about this R&D, tech-driven startups, tech-driven entrepreneurs, because this IP belongs to all of us, a student, a faculty, a university, a business owner, entrepreneur, a business, a big giant. I'm saying business on then some kind of value. Even you know that we are talking the trademark value which we have sell I think a very good amount Kingfisher logo itself, the brand identity. Then we have valuation less than 3 Motorola portfolio. They have purchased only the assets is intangible. So value associated with them. That is why Google purchased all license. Yes, you can use or give them somebody as a even. Okay, so Ericsson now Micromax is paying the royalties for using their what is the chipset, their technology in their mobile phones. So it's a license which they have taken it from the Ericsson. Then another which we have missed on the filing part. IPR gives you some kind of filing papers, the file documents. It gives you the certifications. So you can file your intellectual property as well. These are the benefits. Enforcement, yes, there would be some kind of fights. You have heard about the Pune Farm Flashes, Flash Electronics, who sued the Royal Infringement. So this kind of enforcement would be there because they have a patent. They have some IP with them. Glitch in the internet network. So sorry
Sauravji, I think you were
for that. So
disconnected
sorry.
for
So
two
I'm
three
talking
minutes.
about this
You
other
got
side.
disconnected.
Yeah. So I'm just come back for that.
Yeah.
So
Please.
sorry for that. So sorry, dear. This
No issues
technology
at all.
glitch from my end. Okay, so I'm giving
No
you the
issues. Please.
examples of. So I'm giving you some kind of benefits. जब भी हम लोग बात करते हैं एक R&D एक टेक्निकल प्रोजेक्ट की बात करते हैं इवन बीटेक स्टूडेंट्स देन अ फैबुलस अपना एक बहुत अच्छा एक प्रोजेक्ट बनाते हैं इन फाइनल ईयर सेमेस्टर में एम टेक वाले इंजीनियरिंग प्रोडक्ट डेवलप करते हैं बहुत अच्छे लोग करते हैं अच्छी थीसिस डिजाइन करते हैं बट वी मिस्ड ऑन टू फाइल एज अ intellectual property. So we have to secure their secure intellectual property before giving them to anybody, any big company, any giant. Okay, so IPR, whenever we think that somebody is having the IP, or we have to respect other IP as well. Okay, not about securing our IP, but yes, respecting others' IP as well. Okay, like even there were lots of examples where Uber patent application in Australia filed. So they are waiting for their what is the grant of this certificate, patent certificate. The competitor has to respect other IPR as well because they have secured it. So we can move on the next slide of gray orange, a wonderful example. Take a, just a click one more on this slide itself. So gray orange has been initiated by two students. Okay, whose name are everybody heard about this Kori and Akash of technical studies, and they go to a nearby what you can say factory outlet where they have seen that there is a problem of some what you can say probably the products and goods and then place it to other logistic area. Okay, they have seen that there would be a glitch in the Priyanka, this the upper one, ninth slide. So we talk about that they have identified the solutions because they think that there would be a what you could say probably lose the time or lose the what you can say human resources when they are going to pick up some kind of products and put it another stall. Okay, so they identified there is a problem where they lack the time. Okay, human resources are going to waste it. They make a robot around it. Okay, and they have made the two robots, which is I think name as a Butler and other I missed on. Okay, so they started their company in 2012 in Singapore and Gurugram. These are the students which I am talking about, and now they are having what you can say, probably at that time they are having I think 450 more than 450 employees with them. Investment $35 million. Patent application more than 54 patent applications they have filed. They have secured their identity in Singapore, Japan, USA, Germany, India. So, on the basis of the problem which they identify in a factory in the near go down, and they came up with a solution which reduces the time efforts. Okay, which reduces the efforts of what you can say human intervenes is less. They identified them as a solution. Okay, and they built their company named as Gray Orange. So this is a very good example when we are talking about the student's perspective. Now I'm giving you some more commercialization example. Priyanka, you just move on. When we are talking about this IP, इस IP का होगा क्या? मैं इस IP का करूँगा क्या? So there would be a monetization component as well, where we can use or sell as a commercialization, commercial values. Okay, you have seen that everybody start what you can say can just the Coca-Cola can, Thumbs Up can, Pepsi can. We already know, but there are some full cans which is going to open the cans and then we are going to drink that soft drinks. Okay, so that ring pull can invented by some what you can say US lady, and she has filed as a patent for that ring pull can. Okay, and at one time she earned 1,48,000 UK pounds a day on royalties on that ring pull can itself. So this is some kind of invention which we are talking about, and we can earn these values, commercialization revenues on the same. Priyanka, the slide is next. Yeah. So can we move next slide? One more. So this is one example which I have taken already, ring pull can, and somebody can invented that and earn the very good royalties by selling or giving it to big giants like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or anybody else. And she earned a 1,48,000 pound UK per day. So this is a very good thing, a very good example of patent or intellectual property. Another very good example when we are going to move on the next slide. Okay, everybody heard about Nike, Adidas, Levi's, Reebok. We all know about these brand names, but they don't have a physical location. They don't have factories. What they are going to earn intellectual property side. Yeah. So I'm saying earn the royalty value, earn the value on their brand names itself. They are going to sell the what you can say probably franchisees on their brand names like Nike, like Adidas. They don't have tangible factories with them. Property, there would be a commercialization value itself allocated to them. So I'm going to take the next example after this Nike, Adidas, Reebok, and I'm going to take a next example. Yes, the next slide, Priyanka. One more. Please click. Yes. So everything is not what you can say probably as a patent. Okay. Previous slide, Priyanka, previous slide. So whenever we are talking about this kind of intellectual property, everything is not patentable. Everything is not what you can say filed as a trademark application. So sometimes you have to protect your trade secrets. Whenever we are talking about everybody knows that Coca-Cola की जो formula था, the making of the Coca-Cola, they have taken this as a trade secret. They have protected or kept it in a vault of bank in Atlanta. If they are going to file a patent application on the same kind of formula, then it can become after 20 years this can be available to everyone, that how this Coca-Cola formula is, how Coca-Cola is going to be prepared. Okay, so everything is not patentable, everything is not protected under the IPR, but yes, sometimes you have to work on your trade secrets. Whenever we are going to share anything with our employees, with our colleagues, so we are having those kind of agreements, okay, non-disclosure agreements. So we have to carefully observe what is going to be filed as a IP. Okay, if Coca-Cola is going to be filed as a patent, everybody knows. Even after 18 months, the application is going to publish in the public domain. So everyone knows about that. What is the formulation of this Coca-Cola preparation? So I'm saying the same with the Maggi masala. So there are lots of things which you just protect as a trade secrets with your employees, with your co-founders, with your colleagues, peers, everybody. Okay, so you have to clearly identify your core assets of your business. Then accordingly, you can choose what type of IP. If IP is not there, then what kind of what you can say, probably my ideas, my business are going to be secured as an intellectual assets. Another very good example, you have seen that this kind of product is everywhere in the market. Okay, so this is a tube coupling system where we are going to like what you can say, probably going to join with other and make some kind of designs, unique design. So they have patent on these kind of designs. Okay, but they have not like done the innovations every time. So that patent has been expired, and everybody is going to use them as a free. Okay, so they are not going to earn the values. So whenever you are going to invent something, whenever you are going to find some innovation, some tech, some research, okay, you are going to generate another thing around it. Okay, don't stop yourself with the one innovation, one idea, one technical tool, one technical idea. No, you have to do continuously research or continuously develop some kind of new products, new ideas, so that you can get the first mover advantage for any kind of new innovation which you have done. But you know that once the patent has been expired, it's free to use as a general term. Whenever your trademark is going to expire, then somebody is going to use as a free brand name. Okay, so you have to carefully examine or evaluate your core assets before going to start your startup. So I'm here talking about even the professors when they are going to do some kind of research for or the thesis, PhD thesis, but they have published it in the journal, so that has gone. They are no going to be value, and nobody wants to take some kind of what you could say as a free of use.
Saurav, we have a query.
Yes, yeah. Please
I'm
go ahead.
just putting that on the screen. Can you see it?
Yes, is the IP to be shared when one uses the center facilities of an institute? Is the IP to
Yeah.
be shared when one uses the incubation center facilities of an institute? So the thing is that whenever we are talking about IP, intellectual property to be shared, the thing is that it's totally depend on your arrangements with the incubation center. Okay, whenever we are talking about the intellectual property belongs to a startup or the founder itself. Sometimes a startup has filed the IP on their founder's name. Okay, they have not taken the startup into consideration. Whenever they are going to join or sign some kind of collaboration, some kind of incubation space, they are not going to discuss about this IP. That IP is on founder's name or IP is on startup name, or what kind of arrangement in the incubation center for their IP. Might be in the contract itself, they are saying that IP you have to share with the incubation center, or maybe. But I haven't here till now any incubation center talk about this sharing part of the IP of any startup. So that's something which is totally the startup's decision or incubation's choice of interest. Okay, it's not that you are going to share as a compulsion. No, it's not like that. It's your own choice whether it's to be shared by the incubation center or with the institute or what kind of what you say contractual obligations do you have with that incubation center or the institute? Okay, so I'm saying that IP can be shared as per your own discretion, or the person who's going to ask or take your or give you some kind of investment, some kind of a space, incubation space. So that is totally depend on both of the discretions. Okay, so now I'm going to move on the other part where we are talking about ideation, validation, evaluation powered by the patent. So there would be a lot of things where we are going to ideate. Ideate means idea is in our mind, but we are not sure how to go ahead with this kind of idea. जब भी हम startup की बात करते हैं, there would be a lots of what is a dilemma or some kind of fear, myths that कि IP कब करनी है या आईपी की रिक्वायरमेंट होगी कि नहीं होगी, और इन्वेस्टर को शो ही तो कर रहा हूँ अपनी पिच डेक, और मैंने तो कोई एनडीए साइन नहीं किया था बिग जायंट्स के साथ, बट मैंने जैसे ही सुना बिग जायंट्स इज गोइंग टू वर्क विद मी, आई एम रेडी टू सरेंडर माय प्रोडक्ट और shared every insights with them. So I'm saying whenever you are going to ideate, you have to done that validation part by doing the beta testing of your product, of your concept in the market. Beta testing means you even if I'm talking about the university or the institute student, they can make some kind of clusters amongst their faculty, amongst their different peer groups. Then institute itself gives you lots of opportunity to validate your idea. Okay, you are doing the R&D. Suppose a student, a faculty, or budding entrepreneur is going to R&D, doing some kind of R&D in the institute premises. Then there would be a clauses where we are going to discuss that all IP belongs to institute. Okay, might be this could be in your employment agreement, or maybe at the joining of whenever you are going to join the institute itself. So you have to clear carefully first, clear on your terms that this IP belongs to university, institute, startup, entrepreneur, founder's name, faculty's name. Okay, so I'm saying whenever you have an idea, done, perfect part, you have to validate it by doing making the clusters amongst yourself. Perfect, you have done the beta testing phase. Then you are going to execute it, or you are going to launch this concept in the market. So this is what you can say probably the power has been given to the last slide of my presentation, where I'm going to talk about these entrepreneurs, MSMEs, startups, universities, students. Everybody, if somebody is having the IP, then what exactly gives, what kind of value proposition do they have? Okay, when I'm talking about the entrepreneurs, if they are having the IP, they are doing the business growth. They are having the advantage of doing that kind of business growth because they are going to sell their IPs as well. Okay, become a first mover in that kind of technology, in that kind of level. Another thing is a potential collaboration. Yes, they have a good number of opportunities where big giants are ready to take their innovation, ready to take their IPs, purchase them, license them. Even you have heard that Google has bought or purchased the Motorola's patent portfolio. So there are lots of probabilities of the collaborations. Then another thing is the credibility of your brand. Whenever you have IP, you have a credibility, which I already discussed. Then you have a franchisee possibilities. You know that we have taken the example of Adidas, Reebok, Nike. So yes, we can sell the franchises. Even KFC, McDonald's, they have this kind of credibility with them. They can just share it with anybody as a franchisee. Competitive edge. Whenever somebody, some common type of competitor is going to enter into market, they have some fear that somebody has filed the IP on the same. So I'm not going to run or involved in the some kind of infringement battle. Another thing is MSME. You know that MSME, medium, small, and micro enterprises should have lots of potential. In nowadays, I think MSME definitions has been changed and lots of potential in that. What kind of potential do they have? Competitive among co-suppliers. There would be a lots of similar kind of industries who is presenting, who is making the same kind of products. Okay, so they have the competitive amongst their co-suppliers. They all are doing the similar kind of work. But yes, if you are having the IP, if you are having the trademark, then you have some competitive edge on the same. Higher revenue. Whenever you have IP, you get some kind of higher probability, higher value. Maybe you can increase your price because you have innovative concepts in your industry, in your concept. Then it gives you possibilities of international partnership. You have the IP with you, okay, but you are just going to find out the local partner in Australia. You think your concept, your research is important for US, then, and you don't know anybody in US, but if you have IP, then you are easily collaborate with the local partners. Okay, then we are talking about the credibility among peers. Means whosoever nearby, then we can get some kind of credibility on this IP terms. I think it's a
Saurabh we have
self-explanatory. That is,
one question.
yeah, please.
So what is the MSME? I think you can just elaborate a little bit on it.
I'm not the subject matter expert of MSME, but yes, this is a medium, small, and micro enterprises where you can get some kind of Udyog Aadhaar by registering your entity with in these kind of common industries. You can register your entity and getting the Udyog Aadhaar to do the same kind of what you could say probably running your small industry on some kind of very small scale businesses. Okay, so MSME, when we are talking about, there would be a lot of changes in the definition where this turnover has been comes into picture. So they have reduced that turnover composition. That if you are just promoting, producing this number of what you can say production, and you are going to make your turnover under the 1 CR or 25 CR. I'm not sure about the right figure right now for the MSME, but yes, you can just go ahead on the MSME's website and take your Udyog Aadhaar to do and involve in the MSME schemes. MSME provides a lot of subsidy, what you can say, subsidies on the what you can say products like agriculture, something like that on these kind of products. So I think I am having only this knowledge of the MSME, but not having the all things related to MSME. Okay, if you just need, you can just go ahead and search on the MSME's website. Okay, so only thing is that startup and the MSME is having a different difference, where startup is only having certain limits of their overall transaction value, overall the turnover, overall the GST or the taxation part. But in the MSME area, you are going to limit your turnover with certain restricted values, and you can take the advantage of government subsidies, government loan, as per the as per our finance minister allocate what you can say probably this kind of grants for the MSME industry. Okay, so I think I'm a little bit clear on the MSME side. So there would be a lots of government benefits. So yes, definitely you can apply for the same. Then I'm talking about the startups, where whenever startup is going to initiate it, the idea is having some unique concept. So they're going to protect under this IP. So they have the safeguard uniqueness of concept in this by doing this IP. Okay, there would be one what you can say fact where 35% higher possibilities of success than others. Means if a startup is having some kind of IP belongs to them, or they have filed the IP, their chances are 35% higher than the other who is already in the market. Higher possibilities of funding means nowadays, I already told that Bodhik Venture has already invested in a couple of startups. So in our checklist, there would be a one component as a IP. If some startup has not been filed for IP, then we are going to guide them how to file the IP. Okay, so this gives you a higher possibility because you know that the investor who is going to put the money, they just wanted ROI or some kind of good figures. So what exactly you are going to sell them? Is this only the concept? But why they are going to put the money on the concept? They are looking around some assets. What are those assets? Might be your intangible assets, some intellectual capital, which is your unique idea, your unique brand name, your unique design, your unique copyright application, your unique content part. You have heard about it, Byju's or other educational program, Unacademy. So they have a very good content part with them. So they have filed copyright applications on this thing, so that nobody is going to copy the content. So they have that kind of upper edge or competitive edge from others. Then I have already told you about this monopoly in the market. Means if you have the IP, you can sell your product and get the monopoly in the market to sell your product. Same like easy global expansion means the same which I talked about, the collaboration in the international level. You have IP, but you don't have a local partner in US, Australia, China, Korea, Japan, or anywhere else. You can just sell your patent application there itself. You can say, you can work on, I'm going to sell the license. Yeah. Yes. So now I'm going to move on the university side, where why IP is important for the universities. If university is going to file the intellectual property, the institute is going to file the intellectual property on their name, they can earn the revenue from the commercialization. They are going to identify the industries nearby, and they are going to solve or asked by their students, asked by their research department to solve those kind of problems and give them a solution. Then university is going to present that solution to that industry and take some kind of royalties, take some kind of value on those patent solutions. Another very good benefit is enhanced reputation, higher intake of students. You know that lots of
Saurabh we have one
universities
more question.
nowadays only at, yes, please. Yes, uh, Mukeshi, yes.
Wait a second.
Perfect, sir. Sir, whenever we are talking, I
Uh,
just wanted to read this question. When a startup
yeah,
seeking
it's on the
initial
screen.
funding, to what extent IP details are to be shared with the funding agencies if insisted upon? When we are talking about Mohanji, whenever we are going to talk with the discussion with the angel investor, VC fund, okay, and we have already filed our intellectual property, I don't think so there would be a problem to share each and every details with the VC or the funding agencies. Okay, because you have already secured, you have already filed your provisional application, you have secured the date when you have disclosed this idea, whenever you had filed your trademark application, you filed your copyright application on the content part. So there is nothing to fear when you are going to share this with VC or any funding agencies. But if you have not filed the intellectual property, then you have to take some precautions before sharing all your concept details to anybody. It's not being a VC or it's not being an angel investor, but you have to little bit cautious that if you are going to disclose every insights of your business, which is your core asset, but you haven't filed your IP, it could be problematic. Or maybe in near future you can see similar kind of products in the market, but you are not going to claim that this belongs to you. So you have to little bit cautious when you are going to share anything with the big giants, with funding agencies, with VCs. So might be you can opt for the non-disclosure agreement when you are going to discuss with any VC or angel investors to share your concept, to share your business idea. Might be non-disclosure agreement is one thing at an initial stage which you can do if you are not have if you have not been protected as a IP. But yes, this is only a temporary protection. But if you are going to file your IP, this would be giving you some kind of permanent protection on your or concepts or assets. So I'm coming back when we are talking about the universities or institutes. This gives them an enhanced reputation for the intake of the students. You have seen lots of advertisement where the universities institutes are going to mention that they are being number one in filing the patents, filing the innovations, work on their R&D part. So yes, this gives them some kind of credibility and increase their intake of the student, because sometimes a student only willing to join those institute, those colleges where they think that their practical exposure would be more. Yes, they would be. But both the things are really important, theoretical concepts and the practical concepts. But yes, nowadays because of this startup, okay, this having some kind of zeal or passion to start their own businesses gives them some kind of feel that they are going to join those institutes who gives them an opportunity to become an entrepreneur, who gives them opportunity to be ahead in this competition. So they are giving the advantage to the university side, where they are going to mention that yes, we have done this kind of innovations from our institute, and we have make the unicorns out from our campus. Then another thing is the universities or institute is having a collaboration with the foreign universities. Yes, there would be a lots of institutes based out in Australia, US, Canada, because in India, whenever we are going to talk about the students learning, they should might be aware of the Indian perspective. They can see and explore the Indian context, but they are a little bit unaware of the international market. But when university is having the tie-ups with the foreign universities, then I think students should look around those universities, because universities tie up on the basis of their innovation, basis of their intellectual capabilities, for tie up with the foreign universities on this R&D part. Students came to them and asked that yes, I can be join your institute, or giving me some kind of possibility to go abroad to learn the concept, to learn the industry practices. Then I think NAC accreditation, everybody is aware, every university, every institute knows about that. This gives them some kind of credibility amongst the institutions part. Okay, so this intellectual protection or intellectual property rights, they have to mention in their what we say docket part or in document, share it with the ministry to get some kind of NAC accreditation. They have to share the numbers, what kind of research product they have done, what kind of intellectual properties they have filed so far. Another last thing, industry academia relationship. So institute gets, if they have a very good IP, or they are having the very good labs in their institute, in their universities, and they have capabilities to solve the industry problems. This gives them to improve their yes. So now I'm taking the last slide where we are talking about the student perspective. Is it? Hi, I think I've lost my tech. So, are I visible for to everybody or audible?
Yes. Saurabh ji, you are audible.
Perfect, perfect. So sorry, I think my camera is been paused. No worry. So I'm going
No
to
issues,
talk
no
about
issues.
the last stakeholders, which is the student. Okay. So student, if they have the IP, if they have filed the innovations, patent application, they get the admission in top universities in the world for the scholarship. We have seen, we have done that part with the students' terms. We have filed their innovation because students think on what is it, probably on their own. They don't have the biased ideas, biased thoughts. So they get the chance to get the admission in the top universities in the world and getting the scholarship as well. Another thing, they are, if they have IP, they are ahead of others in the job interviews. Another important thing is because it's a self-explanatory. That is why I'm not giving you the more enhanced details. Credibility at the workplace. Whenever you are going to join any company, any workplace, then you are getting, because you have filed a patent, you are known as an inventor, you are known as an innovator. So you are getting some kind of credibility amongst your peers, amongst the near what you could say, probably your colleagues. Another thing, which is revenue generation from monetization. If you have a very good innovation, you have a very good invention, you can sell it, generate some kind of a commercial value around it. Then the last thing, you have heard there would be a lots of unicorns become a business owner of very good concepts or very good startups. All of us heard about the lots of examples. Okay, so if you have this IP with you, you can get the chance to become a very good business owner Even nowadays institute, universities are having the incubation cell, e-cell. So they are going to support the students for their idea, for their business concept, for their what is the probability concepts, business concepts as well. So this IP gives the benefits to all industry stakeholders, whether it's an entrepreneur, MSME, startups, universities, students, business owner. Because whenever you are going to start the business, there would be definitely one IP would be there. You are going to file your trademark application because you just wanted to protect your brand identity. Nobody is going to copy that brand. So there should be, either you can opt for your whole IPR portfolio. You have a very good technical machinery, technical concept, engineering concept. Okay, wonderful content around it, wonderful website. You have a good brand name, nice coined logo around it. Then you have a very good design of your product. So you can protect all things together in this IPR, or you can make as a IPR portfolio for your ideas, for your concept. So whenever we are talking about this startup and these ideas, when we are going to interact with the friends informally, formally, and we came up with the solution, so we have to identify who is the IP contributor. Is it me, or is it the another person who is my friend is become IP contributor in my business? Apart from that, I just wanted to bring a couple of things. A couple of things means uh, trade secrets we have already discussed. This has not been a part of IP, but yes, this should protect as your intellectual capability. Then you have a confidentiality agreement, and for the software part, for the whenever somebody is working on the SaaS projects or some kind of very good website, so we sometimes missed on to us applications app. Okay, so sometimes we are going to use the open source code. We have not read the content part on the same. Okay, so we have to read carefully the source code which we are going to opt for in our application area, in our software part. We have to carefully read all the terms and conditions mentioned therein, because it's big. It's mentioned that it is a free of use, but for the purpose of informatory purpose, for the research purpose, whenever you are going to use or gaining some kind of commercial value with that, you have to share the contribution with that kind of organization who is going to give you that kind of source code. Then the last thing, when we are talking about this IP belongs to, whom this IP belongs to, if you are developing anything in the employer workspace, you have to carefully read your contractual agreements with the institution, with the employer, so that you are clear on your part that this IP belongs to whatsoever I am going to make as IP, this belongs to the employer. Okay, so now I think I have been on discuss lots of this intellectual property assets for the startup. Okay, and the one more question which comes to every time in a startup mind, when they are going to file their IP. Okay, what is the right stage to go for IP? So I'm saying whenever you are going to develop some idea. Okay, so that would be the right stage to file your IP. Okay, and you think that you have not done everything at that time, then you are going to file a provisional application because you are not sure what is going to be claimed in next 6 months or in next 1 year. So you have that advantage to file a complete patent application within 1 year. So you have to first disclose and take the first priority date to file your concept in the Indian Patent Office or wherever you wanted to file a patent. Then if you want, I can discuss about when we are going to file the IP or Indian Patent Office. So I think I'm getting one more question. Could you please explain to university students how one can find out the patentability of idea? Perfect, Jen. Chenji, it's a wonderful question. Whenever we are going to talk about the patentability, because patent is granted on the three basic criteria. One is a novelty, Second is the inventive step, and third is the industrial applicability. Okay, so whenever we are going to check that our idea is novel or not, because when novelty has been disclosed of your idea anywhere in the world, any part of the world, that invention is not going to be patentable in anywhere. Okay, if novelty has been disclosed. So how can somebody check the patentability? There would be a lots of patent databases available where you can just check or make the keyword key strings on your concept, on your idea, and put your queries in that databases. Okay, some databases are free, like Google Patents. Okay, you can just go ahead and search on their Google Patent database that your idea is novel or not, or some kind of research has been already done or not. eSpaceNet is another important tool. So that tool I'm going to talk on the same because I have not made a slide on the same. So Google patent database, you can access the same, and eSpaceNet, you can go ahead and check your patentability of your idea, because I think eSpaceNet has been already like combine all other patent databases APIs, all countries databases, so you can check there and sure about your ideas that it should be patentable or not. So another very important thing is when we are talking about this brand name or domain name. Okay, so these are little two different things. Sometimes some startups, some company owners just confuse between these two things. That I am having a domain name, so why should I require to file as a trademark? So domain name is entirely different, and this not gives you some kind of intellectual property rights to you to protect your brand. Okay, for the trademark, you have to file a different brand application in the Indian Trademark Registry. Okay, so whenever we are talking about the domain name, MCA registration of a company name, or the trademark, these three are different things. You get your credibility on your trade name, trademarks. So you have to, whenever you are going to search for a trade name or the trademark, then simultaneously you can go ahead and pick up the domain name which is best suited to your business. You can make a strategy on your intellectual property to go global. I have already discussed in the international market, when you have a patent but you have not been access to the local market, so you can easily sell the license or find out somebody who can pick up your product for the international market. So there would be lots of opportunities to this IPR, which is giving for the students, universities, or the business owners. So now I'm going to end this, what you can say, probably my session, or we can have some question answers from the universities and from the students who is going to be as an audience. So we can take some questions, and then I am happy to answer those queries. Or if not possible, then I'm going to answer offline as well. So I think I'm clear on my discussion part and ending my session here. So yeah, Mukeshji, can we take some questions or something?
Yes, Saurabhji, we have a question. Saurabh am I audible? I think
Hello.
uh, I think we just lost the connection from Saurabh sir. Saurabh, you're back. Please wait. We are just trying to connect with him again. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Saurabh, you're back.
Is it audible? Yes, yes. Is it audible?
We are trying to connect with him. Please be with us.
Hello. Yeah, is it audible,
Saurabh.
Mukesh ji?
Yes. We are back to online. I think we had just little bit of network issues.
No worries, no worries. So
So we
Amit,
have a question
when
from Amit.
yes, yes, yes. So, Amit, whenever we are talking about some kind of prizes or your participation in these e-sales programs or the competition, so that is why I already discussed that at the very initial stage, when this idea comes to your mind, you are going to file as a patent or as a provisional application. So in Indian Patent Office, if you think the government fee is only 1600 rupees, so it's not been so high, so you are not able to protect your concept. But yes, if you are going to hire some IPR experts, their fees are going to vary. Okay, but the government fee is only 1600 rupees to file a patent application. For filing a copyright application, the government fee is only 500 rupees. So this totally depend on your idea or the concept which you are going to file as a IP and then present your ideas in the competition or in any kind of e-cell program. The thing is that whenever we are talking about these kind of programs or the events, if you think your IP or your business is not important or you are not going to run your show on the similar grounds, then you can probably share the ideas and that has to be used by you or what you can say probably by university or those institute as well. So I think some highlights of government initiative of SSF, SIPP. Perfect. So these are some when you are talking about the government initiative, there would be a lot of intellectual property protection programs. Like they are waive off the charges for filing the patents, filing the intellectual property. If you have a very good innovative idea, there would be a grant from even the NRDC or other government institution as well for this Startup India program. There would be a lot of government initiatives on the GST or taxation part. So these initiatives are already mentioned on the Startup India website. So maybe if you just wanted to benefit any of then you can just opt for the same from the Startup India website. Another question I think, is there any minimum eligibility criteria like qualification or income, etc.? No, Narendra, there will be no criteria for the qualification to file a patent application. You can file whatever is your idea. You can go ahead and file your application. So there is no minimum eligibility criteria. Yes, Mukeshji, over to you. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yes, yes, Mukesh ji, is it audible to anyone?
Yeah, actually, I think I lost my connection in between. I
Oh,
think we
no
have
worries.
answered to Mohan sir. Now we have one more question from Amit. A question or something, some kind of thing. Can you just say it?
Yes, yes, yes. But sir, in this competition or event, we participate for winning, and for that we present our best. And it is obvious at this stage we don't have any government patentship. So how fair it will be? Amit, what I could say to you, if you just think that you are going to participate in any competition, before joining any competition for the prizes, you can read the terms and conditions carefully, okay, by filling the form of that participation, that who is going to be get the benefited, or who is going to develop the product, or who or IP belongs to whom. Okay, then you are going to take the participation in these kind of events. Okay, if you think that this is really helpful for you to participate and to win the prizes, then why shouldn't you go ahead and protect your IP? Or if not, then sign some kind of non-disclosure agreement with the organizing committee. Okay, but this is limited to the organizing committee, but not as a public as a whole. Okay, because there would be a lots of audience who is just going to listen your idea. Okay, so if you just wanted to protect your idea, protect your concept, and winning the prize money, so you are only option to left with, you have to file your intellectual property, because it's quite difficult to sign the non-disclosure agreement with all of them. Okay, so that is it from my end, Amit. If you think that there should be anything else which you need to discuss, might be we are going to take that question offline as well. So
Yeah,
that's
I just
something you
have
can
wait
discuss
one
this with
more
me.
question. I think this will be the final one.
Yes, Mohanji. Mohanji, your question is there any difference in terms of protection between patents filed in India or in other countries like USA? Sir, there is no difference in terms of protection of patents in India or in US. Only thing is that the prosecution phase, okay, like in India, you are getting the 4 years to file a request for examination. Okay, you have that kind of opportunity. But in US, when you are at the time of filing the application, filing the patent application, you have to give the request at the time of filing itself. So that is a mandatory thing with the US Patent Office. The term is all patents belongs to be 20 years. So there is no difference in the time limit of the patent application. Yes, Mukesh.
So it was actually wonderful to have you on the session. I'm just putting the website of Bodhik Ventures on the screen. Audience may write it down: www.bodhikventures.com. And Bodhik Ventures team will always be there to support you with the IP, with the patent, trademark, and even on the business canvassing and that kind of thing. Also for the LinkedIn, you can audience can communicate with them to this particular link, as well as it is also available on the website of bodhikventures.com. Saurabh I personally had a question. I think though we can have that in the offline call also, but I think this may help to audience also.
Sure.
Like when we file trademark for something, like we have trademark for this tech counselor, for Avni, and for Disa. Now suppose we have a trademark, then and we do not have the domain for it. Then can somebody else register that particular domain on that trademark? For example, we say techcounselor.in. Can somebody do it? And will it give us right to ask them to leave that website to us or something like this? I hope you understand my question.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So if I'm talking about the tech counselor one, if you have a trademark application belongs to you on the on the logo part of the tech counselor, on the name of the tech counselor, but you don't have that domain name. Okay, domain name has been purchased by somebody else, so you don't have what is it, probably to ask. Maybe you can just go ahead and ask them to, sir, please you can give us this domain name. That is the only request. Or if you just wanted to file a suit or litigation suit on the that domain owner, you can't have the rights, because domain
Okay.
is entirely different. Okay, and the trademark registration is entirely different. So whenever you are going to opt for your trademark, you are going to file your trademark application, you can carefully take your domain name as well. beforehand, so that it would be easy for you to avoid some kind of conflict or some kind of competition. Okay, so that
Right.
that is something from my end, because in might be when you are going to some kind of SEO, some kind of marketing on your tech counselor website, maybe on different domain, but due to domain name belongs to somebody else, they might get benefited because you are doing the marketing effort, you are going to do the SEO, you are going to do the SMO part. So might be because of the that alphabets available in their name or the similar kind of name belongs to them as a domain, but they are not going to brand as a tech counselor. If they are going to brand as a tech counselor, like domain is a tech counselor, but website is built on XYZ brand. Okay, and they are not going to market your tech counselor. You are not having some kind of right protection because they are not going to conflict your trademark. Okay,
That's
so
great.
that is something. Yeah, you can go ahead and opt for the trademark simultaneously when you are going to choose as a good domain name. Yes.
One more last question. Like there might be some time limit for the trademark for patent, like we have 20 years, 10 years or so. So, for example, we if we have some trademark for a limit of time which is given by the government, like for 10 years or 20 years, and if we do not
Mhm.
renew it, or like does it, or if it expires automatically, then what happens with that particular right? Do we still have it, or it is now in the open market?
That this is an open market. Then you are going to abandon that mark because you have not renewed that mark, so it's going to be used as a free by anybody else. Okay, so because it's already in the existing what is the Google databases everywhere else, but you have not renewed your trademark right, you are not going to enforce it to anybody. That this belongs to you. Okay,
That's
so
wonderful.
that you have to do. Yes.
So it was indeed really great pleasure to have you as an expert for this particular session for our whole month event, which is for the 1 month. Saurabh ji, I'm very much thankful to you for accepting our request. And then as well as to my whole team, Tulas, Krishna Institute of Medical Science, then Yuvana Tech and Craft, then Ramanujan Academy, Kaviraj Foundation, Uttarakhand Technical University, Praveen, Priyanka, Monica, and then as well as to the Bodhik Ventures team also. Bodhik Venture will be supporting 5 of the startup for their trademark as well as 10 for the IP health check. They can always communicate with the Bodhik Venture or they can ask us to get in touch with the Bodhik Venture. And I hope we'll have your long-term support in the long term also for all these kind of events and for the IP growth kind of thing. Ultimately, our goal is to boost the R&D work culture in the India, and certainly we also focusing on getting like our ranking good in the global IP index. So with this, I'll just put my concluding remark. If Sara would like to say something, I would like to hear.
Sure. Thank you, Mukeshji, and thank you whole team of Tula Institute Tech Counselors to organize these kind of initiative. And that is very wonderful thing which you have done. And my best wishes for whole of this month webinar series. And I expect that the students, the audience will definitely get benefited with these kind of expert talks and giving them a practical exposure. So apart from that, which Mukesh already told that we are going to sponsor the professional fee of the 5 startups to file their trademark application, and we are going to help them to do their IP checkup free with us as a consultancy part, as a free of cost. So that is something from our end, Bodhik Ventures end. And apart from that, I think we have initiated last night one campaign which is really important for the universities or institutes perspective, that they are being going to charge as 8,000 rupees as a large entity in the Indian Patent Office whenever they are going to file the patent application. So we have filed some kind of petition that they are going to charge, or they are being coming into the similar class of individual or the startup where they are going to pay only the 1,600 rupees as a government fee, because it improves the research part in India's economy, and then university is going to file maximum innovation, maximum patents, and help them to boost our economy in terms of the innovation. And we are going to work on that favor. So if somebody wants to sign that petition, they can just go ahead and find this link on the Bodhik Venture Private Limited page on the LinkedIn, and you can just sign this petition and help us to help universities, institute to file maximum innovations in the favor of the academic institute. So that is our what you can say take on the same, that university, because as the education ecosystem, they are like our what you can say probably very important stakeholders. So we have to lower down the fees of the filing the patent application. Instead of 8,000, we are requesting that same category is considered as individual or the startup, so that they are going to file under this INR 1600. So that is from my end, and my best wishes to whole Tech Council team, Tula Institute, and I'm happy to contribute more as and when required. Or any startup wants to contact us, happy to contact me or any of your faculty members. I'm being in touch with them. So happy to boost or support the startup ecosystem. Thank you from my end
Yeah,
and
certainly.
best wishes.
Certainly. I'll be putting that link on the WhatsApp group for the all audience as well as on the email IDs, which just sort of have introduced to us. And we certainly would like to have that kind of reduction in the fees to boost this global innovation ranking of India. For tomorrow, we will have Professor Dr. Manoj Kumar Panda. He is the senior professor at Electrical Engineering Department, Govind Ballabh Pant Engineering College, as well as the project administrator at State Project Implementation Unit (SPIU). So thank you, Saurabh, once again. Thank you to all Baudik Ventures team, and thank you to our all audience for remaining with us for the whole session. So tomorrow we will again have the session at 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. with Professor Dr. Manoj Kumar Panda. He will talk on sustainable future and scope of solar for startups. Thank you again. Thank you all.